Welcome to our podcast here. It's the Creative Youth Agency, and today I have someone very interesting here, an engineer. Her name is Julian Tabaro. The other name, I won't lie. I can't look at it many times and still remember it. But so let's go with Julian Tabaro, the civil engineer and a climate change activist. I love to say that because when I see the passion that you put in, the things that you post, it seems like you are following the conversation on climate change dot by dot. And first of all, let me say hi to you, and you can say hi to our people, and then we can start a conversation from there.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be on this podcast today. Yeah.
Okay. Brief words from a lady. Anyway, first of all, let's start with where do you get the passion for climate change? Have you ever experienced the effects of climate change?
Yes, we experience this every day. When you go to the market and a bunch of matoke used to buy at maybe 3,000 is now at 7, 8,000. When you think through, it's because we know the farmers are no longer receiving rainfall as they used to, sunshine as they used to. So the farming seasons are not certain. Even when they plant and they get to harvest, it's been through so much. So you have to pay for all that they've gone through. So you can no longer buy fruits, vegetables, and fruits at a price you used to get them. You buy them expensively. Those are some of the effects of climate change. And the heat. I'm allergic to heat. I have heat as a carrier. So in these times when the temperatures are high, it's not a good time for me. Fellows with heat at carrier can understand what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay, that's a new allergy. I didn't know people are actually allergic to it. I just thought that people who have experienced it, it's normal. I don't want to get into your personal health life because that sounds a little bit, challenging to me. But I'll try to research on what you just talked about. But how do you think we got here? Why are we experiencing all this that you say we used to have matoke at a certain price? Now it's way expensive because farmers are no longer receiving grain and other foodstuffs that are out there. How did we get here?
The primary cause of climate change are human activities. If I can categorize for you a number, let's say the transport sector, the industrial sector, the energy sector, electricity sector, the construction sector, and quite a number. When I talk about the transport sector, I'm talking about, take an instance for in Uganda, our transport network system is very, very terrible. To get to your workplace, a place that is not even 6 kilometers from your home to your workplace, you could take hours and hours because cars are stuck in jam. And the more cars spend time on the road, the more carbon they're emitting into the atmosphere, which is converted into carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas. And now when I talk about the construction sector, this cement that we use contains carbon. However, if we could adopt green cement, I don't know whether you've heard of it.
I was actually going to ask you what are the alternatives that we have instead of the cement?
There is green cement.
What does green cement do? What does it look like?
It's the same cement, same color, same everything, but how it is produced is different. Even the processes that they go through to produce green cement are totally different in a way that there is less emission incurred when it is being produced. So we are in the process of producing it, less emissions. We are cutting off the emissions into the atmosphere, even when it is used for construction, because our buildings are not emitting certain things that they should not to pollute the environment.
Interesting. Now on Monday we had a paper published by New Vision, and the headline story was that humans are now sharing the same source for water with animals due to delayed rains. In fact, the department, it's called a meteorological department, came out and said that the rains could be delayed even for 2 weeks. into the normal season. But that is just a projection. That means it could even go beyond 2 weeks. How come we don't have rain? I mean, what happened to the rain? You posted something that had too much science, and I want you to help us here understand how this happens.
So what happens is when climate change occurs, that is when I'm talking of climate change, I'm talking of accumulation of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. I'm talking of carbon dioxide accumulating in the atmosphere. I'm talking about methane, nitrous oxide accumulating in the atmosphere. So when these gases accumulate in the atmosphere, they create a layer on Earth. And this disrupts the precipitation cycle. Or the rain cycle in simple terms. It is through the rain cycle that we get to receive rain, some sun, and everything. But if we're having an extra layer that is abnormal, that shouldn't be part of this cycle, we are not going to have enough sunshine, or we shall have too much sunshine that won't cause evaporation to occur and condensation to occur, and we are receiving rain. We are going to either receive too much sunshine that instead of causing enough evaporation to occur, we are instead experiencing drought. The grounds are drying, plants are drying, so evaporation is not occurring, and condensation rather than we're receiving rain. So we instead have too much drought or too intense rainfall when it happens. Yes.
Okay, so as of now, that means the sun has been so hot, we don't have water to help the whole process of what? Condensation.
To help the rain cycle.
The rain cycle. It's some science that I'm very gray about, but now it makes a lot of sense. So talk to us about policies that can help us reverse the effects that we are experiencing today. And there could be both political policies and also maybe normal human ways where we can do our things, because we can police ourselves. And say, going forward, I am not probably disposing a kavera or using a kavera, which we call plastics here. What policies can we look at to see that we kind of reverse from the effects that we are experiencing today?
Let's divide these policies into different ministries that most countries would have. For example, if you're talking about the Ministry of Works and Transport, how about they focus on improving the transport network systems so that individuals accessing various destinations, let it be work, let it be the markets, let it be church, they are able to access these areas optimally. You're not spending a long time on the road with your car emitting various gases into the atmosphere and causing carbon dioxide to be accumulated in the atmosphere. So let the transport network system be optimized, or let us adopt public transportation means so that we reduce the number of vehicles on the road. Yes. Then if we talk about the Ministry of Energy, advocate for clean energy, invest in identifying areas with greater solar potential so that you get to advocate for where clean energy can be used and it's achievable and is helping the community. If we go to the Ministry of Agriculture, with Africa now receiving climate financing from the first world countries because they acknowledge they have for long polluted the environment. The Ministry of Agriculture needs to come up and educate farmers how they can actually benefit from this, so that farmers can stop cutting trees in order to be able to have some income from themselves. They can actually get income from this. Let there be policies where farmers' carbon credits are protected. They understand how the carbon credits can be calculated, and they have a registry, a carbon credit registry, where a farmer knows I have 500 carbon credits in the Ministry of Agriculture carbon registry, and if an NGO comes and they want to buy, it is my source of income. I do not have to cut and invest into planting beans and matoke because they are short term. You plant, you harvest, sell, and you have your money. You know that even your trees can actually get you some income. Then when you go to the Ministry of Lands and in that area, let it invest in spatial data. Africa, in general, even in Uganda here, we do not have spatial data that is reliable. So even the engineers and maybe land surveyors that have learned this don't get a chance to put to use the knowledge that they have accumulated to actually help their governments plan and make this plan and make the situation even better. Because if we have good spatial data, if we have good spatial data that we can use to analyze the situation that was and there is today and predict what could happen in the future, it helps the government to plan on where to invest and how we can combat climate change today. Yes.
Thank you so much, Julian. All the best, man. That knowledge, I'm very sure that it's going to be helpful to us. We hope that you stay tuned here on this channel, you subscribe, and then you will see more of these conversations. Julian, the civil engineer, will have probably some, I hope one time when you come back, I'll call you back and you come and discuss more on the same conversation.
Yeah, sure.
So you will find her here on our platform. Thank you.